Hi, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Inevitable, and this is the Calm Face Violent Ambition podcast, where I'll be speaking about literally anything that sparks my interest and sharing my perspective on it. Thanks once again for tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the video. So, today we're going to be speaking about something that really boggles my mind every single moment of every single day of my entire life, okay? Ever since obviously I've met my twin, Um, the very day that I met her, this question has been in my mind, like constantly, and still is. I still ask myself this question, and I still ask God every day. But I was given some divine inspiration as to go ahead and, just come up with some notes and some points and some practical steps with regards to this question. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So we're going to be speaking about twin flames and destiny. Okay. And the question we all want answered, if you are a twin flame, essentially, this is a question that I guess we all want answered. Is this connection written in the stars? This subject blends spirituality, psychology, and identity, and it challenges us to ask, is the twin flame journey a matter of choice or is it fate? All right. I'd really love to hear your thoughts on that question. You can just let me know in the comments. But essentially, right, whenever I ask this question, I always, I always go back to the garden, right? The Garden of Eden, where it all began. And I think about Adam and Eve, right? And how this entire, how creation was essentially created and the purpose of it, you know? And when I think about it, right, I think about God creating everything in His goodness, creating it as an image of Himself, creating it with the purpose of glorifying Him, glorifying His goodness, His perfection, His majesty. You know what I mean? That was the purpose. That is what His intention was when He created Adam and Eve at the beginning, because He created them perfect, good. There was no bad, there were no curses, there was no sin, there was nothing. Okay. And He created them with the intention that they were going to glorify Him together in this perfect, holy land. Right? That was the plan that He set up for them. But obviously, we all know what happened. We fell short of the glory of God. Essentially, we gave in to our temptation, and it caused us to basically be cut off from God and be cut off from this destiny, this plan that God essentially had for us. You know what I mean? And it was due to our own negligence, right? And this is how we end up to where we are today. So essentially, that is what I thought of my twin flame journey of. And it's so clear to me, like it circles back to me right now that I'm where I am right now, and I have this understanding. I've awoken from this deep sleep that I was in, and I see things with a clearer lens now. Like God placed us all on this earth for purpose. No one came into this world without a purpose. Okay? Whether you know that purpose or you don't, there was a purpose. There was a reason for why you were put on this earth. Right? Essentially, there's this plan that God had for us when He placed us on this earth. When we got born into this world, God had a specific plan for us, right? Not everyone's purpose is all the same. But essentially, I understand full circle now that my purpose was to be with my twin. We were supposed to come together into this world, and we were supposed to raise the vibration of the earth together in harmonious partnership together. That is the purpose that my God had for me. And that is why everything had to happen the way that it did before we met each other. Because when we met, there was supposed to be a great remembrance between us. Our souls were supposed to awaken each other to the awareness of who we are, of what we were meant to do here on this planet during this time. But what had happened was I was aware of God speaking to me, showing me signs, trying to make me aware of who this other twin soul was. That this was my twin soul, that this was my soulmate that I was supposed to essentially have a sacred partnership with. But because I was caught up in such a deep sleep, in such a state of negligence and ignorance, I ignored my own intuition. I ignored God's advice, God's guidance, and went completely against the plan that He had for me. And this is what caused me to go on this journey of heartache, this journey of pain, this journey of agony. Like I've mentioned before, okay, I haven't actually mentioned it before on this channel. I've mentioned before on a different channel. And what I said was that the way my life turned out was like the book of Ecclesiastes, the book written by King Solomon, where he essentially met his beloved. But because he refused to allow her presence to heal him, to transform him, he she left him. She basically forgot about him, cut him off from her life. And what this did was it sent him into a state of agony. They call it a godly sorrow. You know what I mean? And for the remainder of his life, he lived in this godly sorrow. And he wrote a whole book about it, about how there is no hope in the world, that there is no hope without God in this world, you know. And if you go read it, it's a very good read. It's actually one of my favorite books because it reflects what my life was like after I met my twin and after I chose not to follow the plan that God had for my life. And when I think about it, it just makes so much sense. So now, where we're at right now, time has passed, and I I didn't step up. I didn't do what I was supposed to do, and it caused my twin to cut me off. And currently in the physical world right now, we aren't speaking due to circumstance, and I completely respect the boundaries that she has set up and everything. Um, but we are in a 5D union, like we still communicate telepathically, and things are better than what they used to be. That's at least what I can say. But I like I mentioned before in the previous video, I could go on and on and on about this, and I probably should not. So I'm just going to be diving into the video, the main purpose as to why we created this video, essentially. All right. Okay. So twin flames are often described as distant partners, two souls split from the same source, drawn back together across lifetimes. The idea of destiny suggests that this connection is not random, but written into the fabric of the universe. Synchronicity, spiritual traditions, and lived experiences all point to the possibility that twin flames are guided by forces beyond human control. When we explore destiny, we discover that twin flame connections are not only about love, they are about purpose. They awaken us, challenge us, and align us with paths we might never have chosen on our own. Alright? Let that sink in. So I've divided this topic, like I do in all my videos, into four different sections. And at the end of this, I'll be providing you with some practical steps on how you can go and integrate this insight into your daily life if you are essentially a twin flame and your daily doings. All right. So, section one, the pull of inevitability. Twin flame connections often feel inevitable, as if no matter the choices we make, life keeps steering us back toward this person. This sense of inevitability. And that's where I kind of got the inspiration for my name, Inevitable, you know? Moving on, this sense of inevitability is what makes many believe the bond is destined. It feels less like chance and more like a cosmic pull. Point number one, the connection often defies logic, with circumstances aligning in ways that seem too precise to be coincidence. This inevitability causes the impression that destiny is at work. Point number two, the emotional intensity reinforces the sense of fate, as if the bond carries a weight greater than ordinary relationships. It feels written into the fabric of our lives. Point number three, the pull of inevitability often persists even through separation, suggesting that the connection is not easily broken. This enduring magnetism strengthens the belief in destiny. For example, two people may drift apart for years, only to reconnect through unexpected circumstances that reignite the bond, reinforcing the sense that the connection was meant to be. The pull of inevitability reminds us that destiny is not always about prediction. It is about recognition. Twin flame connections resonate because they feel like forces we cannot escape, as if the universe itself insists on reunion. So inevitability frames twin flames as distant, not because of charts or myths, but because the connection feels too powerful to be denied. Powerful. I really love to hear your thoughts on that. I mean, when I thought about this, I just blew my mind. All right, diving into section 2, synchronicity and signs. Beyond inevitability, synchronicities often mark twin flame journeys. These signs, numbers, dreams, and chance encounters suggest that destiny is guiding the connection. Point number 1, repeated numbers like 1111 often appear during twin flame awakenings, symbolizing alignment and divine timing. These synchronicities reassure individuals that the journey is purposeful. Point number 2, dreams and visions often foreshadow encounters, suggesting that the subconscious is tuned to destiny before the conscious mind catches up. Point number 3, chance meetings and improbable coincidences reinforce the sense that twin flames are guided by forces beyond control, making the connection feel inevitable. For example, two people repeatedly crossing paths in unlikely places before finally connecting romantically often interpret these encounters as signs of destiny. Synchronicities remind us that destiny speaks in symbols. Twin flame connections resonate because they are marked by signs that reassure us we are on the right path. So, synchronicity reinforces the idea that twin flame connections are guided by destiny, marked by signs that transcend logic. Powerful. And this was something that I was definitely wrestling with for like the longest part of my life, ever since I met my twin. Because I am, like I mentioned, this spiritual state that I'm in right now took a very long time to come to. And I'm grateful for that. I'm not grateful for the fact that it took so long, but I am grateful for the fact that I am in this state now. Because when I was still living in that logic based state, analytical based state, wanting to see everything with my eyes in front of me based state, it kept me back, and it caused separation between me and my twin, because my twin, on the other hand, she was spiritual from the get go, from the beginning. And because of that, she was able to excel in our connection, whereby I was held back because I couldn't come to terms with the spiritual aspect of our connection. To me, at first, everything was all physical. I had this strong physical attraction towards her, and this is kind of the reason what kept on pulling me back to her. But the underlying reason as to why I was also being so pulled to was also spiritual, but I wasn't acknowledging it. And because of that, I caused a separation between us. And I take full accountability for that. But let me not go on a tangent. Section 3, Free Will and Destiny. Twin flame narratives often raise the question, is destiny absolute, or does free will play a role? I'd really love to hear your thoughts on that. Just let me know in the comments. The intensity of the connection suggests fate, but the choices we make determine how destiny unfolds. What do you think about that? Destiny may bring twin flames together, but free will determines whether the connection thrives. This is point number 1. Without growth and healing, even distant unions can falter. Point number 2. Free will allows individuals to choose how they respond to challenges, shaping whether the connection becomes destructive or transformative. And this was definitely the case between me and my twin, because she was prepared. She did the inner work. She accepted the fact that there was a spiritual connection between us and was actively working towards union between us. And I was just not doing any of that, wasting my life, just completely ah, quite disappointing, I have to tell you. Point number 3, destiny frames the meeting, but free will writes the story. The balance between fate and choice defines the twin flame journey. For example, two people may feel destined to be together, but if they refuse to confront personal wounds, the connection may collapse, showing that destiny requires cooperation with free will. Destiny sets the stage, but free will writes the script. Twin flame connections resonate globally because they embody both inevitability and choice. So, destiny may guide twin flames, but free will determines whether the connection fulfills its purpose. Powerful. Do let me know your thoughts. Section 4, Destiny as Purpose. Ultimately, twin flame destiny is not only about union, it is about purpose. The connection awakens individuals to higher paths, aligning them with missions that transcend personal love. Point number one, twin flames often catalyze spiritual awakening, pushing individuals toward growth, healing, and service. This suggests that destiny is about transformation, not just romance. Point number two, the connection often inspires creativity, leadership, and collective impact, showing that destiny extends beyond personal fulfillment into global resonance. Point number three, destiny frames twin flames as partners in purpose, reminding us that the union is not only about love, it is about contributing to collective consciousness. For example, twin flames who reunite often find themselves drawn to shared missions, teaching, healing, or creating that impact communities beyond themselves. Destiny is not only about who we love, it is about why we love. Twin flames resonate globally because their union symbolizes purpose, awakening, and collective transformation. So, destiny frames twin flames as catalysts for purpose, showing that their connection is written not only in the stars, but in the story of humanity. Powerful and so beautiful. So, like I've mentioned, I've got some practical steps here on how we can go ahead and implement this insight because this truly is an insight. So we know this now, right? What do we do about it? The question comes up. Okay, I know this. I'm aware of it. Now, what's the next step? What do I do now? And I've got that here for you. Don't worry, I got you. So, step one, recognize inevitability. Pay attention to the magnetic pull that keeps drawing you back to someone. Instead of resisting, reflect on what this inevitability is teaching you. Step 2, notice synchronicities. Keep track of repeating numbers, dreams, and chance encounters. These signs often guide the twin flame journey and reassure you of destiny. Step 3, balance free will. Accept that destiny may bring connection, but your choices determine its outcome. Practice growth, healing, and authenticity to align with purpose. Step number 4, embrace purpose. See the connection not only as romance but as a catalyst for transformation. Use the energy of union to inspire creativity, service, and collective impact. Step number 5, cultivate patience. Destiny unfolds in divine timing. Trust the process. Even when delays or separations occur, knowing that growth is part of the journey. Live authentically. Step 6. Align your actions with truth and values, ensuring that your connection reflects both destiny and free will. Authenticity sustains the union. Okay? By practicing these steps, we see twin flames not only as distant partners, but as catalysts for purpose. Destiny may be written in the stars, but it is fulfilled through choice, growth, and authenticity. Powerful. And I'd really love to know if this is something that would assist you and aid you in your twin flame journey. You can just let me know in the comments. So I'll leave you with this reflection. Twin flames may be written in the stars, but destiny is not only about union, it is about purpose. How will you honor the destiny of your connection? Think about it, share it, and let's explore together how destiny shapes the twin flame journey. I'd really love to hear your perspective. Drop your thoughts in the comments. How has destiny shaped your twin flame journey? If you are one, your commentary really does add to the conversation, and together I know we can build a deeper understanding of love and faith and what it means to us. All right? So I'd just like to seize this moment to thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. If you enjoyed my insight, go ahead and leave me a like. And if you're interested in hearing more about what I have to share on this channel, then you can subscribe as well. And once again, I am inevitable, and this is the Calm Face Violent Ambition podcast. Have a wonderful rest of your day.